Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Parkzy here, and welcome to another video. Today we are on Pokemon Showdown because I have joined the PSL, the Pokemon Showdown League, along with 7 other people. And basically, if you guys do not know how a draft style format works, basically you have snake style format and a tiered structure to follow. And basically you pick your Pokemon, then wait for the other people to pick their Pokemon, then it will go back to you. So you get to see where your opponent's picking, but then you also get a pick, so you can kind of draft your Pokemon based around your opponent's teams. And it's really good because it lets like some Pokemon with really good coverage shine, because Nidoqueen is right now is an RU, but it's like a really top tier threat in draft league format just because it can set up rocks, toxic spikes, and it has so much coverage. I mean, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Ice Beam. It can hit on the physical side of Earthquake and things like that. But anyway, I'm going to be going through my draft. Tomorrow will be the upload with the battle versus Hughes Manin. So make sure you go look forward to that. Subscribe if you want to be early to watch that battle. Also like this video, it will greatly be appreciated. And also comment any feedback you have for my video, how to make them better at all, because I am a relatively new YouTuber. I am still learning. As you guys might not know, my editing is not the best. So we have got Nihilego, and originally Nihilego was going to be my Z user, but as I kept on looking, Nihilego really does not have that great of a move pool. I mean, the moves that it has are insane. It's got 7 or 8 really insane moves, but apart from that, it only really has those moves and like 1 or 2 others that are actually usable. I'll go show you guys right now. So it's what drew me to Nihilego originally was because at the time of drafting, this Pokemon was OU, so I was like, an OU Pokemon in Tier 2 is really good. I've never seen Nihilego in Tier 2 before, I've always seen it in Tier 1, so I thought that'd be really good value. It has some really good offensive options, and its speed stat's actually really nice. I'm going to go show you it here. Speed stat at base 103, which is really nice for outspeeding base 100s, and also things like Garchomp and Thunderous Therian, which have been drafted respectively by Sita and by MX3. So this Pokemon will be helping out a lot versus them. Not to also mention, as I said prior, this Pokemon's stabs are insane. Its attack really is lackluster, and so is its defense. I mean, base 53 and base 47. It's what kind of threw me off from, like, I was looking at my team later on and I was like, is Nihilego really a good pick? But, you know, I regret nothing. It was a pretty good round 1 pick. I wouldn't say it was the best. I could have definitely gone for something good like Kieran Black, which actually went undrafted. I could have went for another one of my Pokemon that I actually got sniped on, which I'll tell you guys later. This Pokemon gets some pretty good moves. I mean, it gets Sludge Wave, it gets Dazzling Gleam, it gets Grass Knot. So even ground types that want to come in, usually most ground types except Flippin' Dugtrio, which should be banned, they are slower, so I can hit them with Grass Knot. They are pretty heavy as well. This Pokemon actually really appreciates hidden powers. Hidden Power Ice and Hidden Power Fire can be really useful, like for things like Flygon, for things like Terraform that might want to come in and take a hit. It also gets Dual Screens, if I am not wrong, as well as Psychic and Side Shock, which can hit opponents on the physical and special end. Light Screen is also very useful if I want to bring like a especially defensive like play set, so I can really take lots of hits, because this Pokemon's special defense is pretty good. I get access to Rest Talk and also 2 types of setup through Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes. I also do get Thunderbolts and, like most Pokemon, substitutes, so I gotta have like a really cool substitute 3 attack set or something. This Pokemon doesn't really get any reliable recovery, and I'm usually gonna have to be forced to choose this Pokemon, but most of the time it's gonna be an offensive role. If I really want to get cheeky, I can bring 3 attacks and like Stealth Rocks or Toxic Spikes if I really need it. But as you guys are going to see when I keep on telling you more of my draft, I really do not have that problem with Stealth Rocks. Like, I really don't have to resort to Nihilego for Stealth Rocks, barely if at all, because my other Stealth Rock setters are really good. Like, they're really high tier and really reliable. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so next up we have got my second round pick, which is Latios. And I'm really happy this Pokemon didn't get picked, because it is, in my eyes, a pretty good late round 1 pick. We are 8 people though, so I can understand why it didn't go. But my original plan, I did say that I did get sniped. My original plan was to get Latias. because Latias has got some really good physical bulk, which could help out with Nihilego, and plus its typing synergy with Nihilego is insane. I mean, Latias resists ground, Nihilego resists, it resists psychic, which Nihilego hates. Latios hates, it hits bug, while Nihilego 4 times resists it, and if it's on the special side, Nihilego is literally taking nothing. But unfortunately, I did have to pick up Latias's bigger brother, Latios. I do not regret anything. In fact, Latios might have actually been the better option because I was lacking quite a bit of power. Especially on the physical end. You're going to see in my draft, I'm kind of lackluster in my physical attack, so I might have to bring this with a Dragon Dance or in one way. But Latios is disputably one of the top 3-4 defoggers in the format. Its speed stat allows it to get fast defogs off while also pressuring people with its incredible stabs, which can be Soul-Dew boosted. It's also another really good choice Scarf user, which really gives me a lot of options. Its coverage is insane, and another reason why I wanted Latias over Latios was because Latias gets Healing Wish, whereas Latios gets Memento, and I don't really like Memento that much. Z Memento is alright, but not just normal Memento. The only good upside to having Memento, in my opinion, is that if you want to Memento out into a setup sweeper, then that does give you the option. And I do have quite a few setup sweepers, so that's nice. But Latios has got a usable attack stat of 90. It's probably going to be hitting more on the special side, in my opinion. Unfortunately, Ratataman, coach of the Pittsburgh Piratas, did take Latias from me one pick before me. He was the second person before the wheel pick, so someone would pick twice, and then he'd pick again. So he picked up Infernape and then Latias, both in tier 2. But I had to pick up Latios, but as I said, I don't regret anything. I mean, this thing can set up Cam Mines, it can defog, which is a really nice thing, because I don't want my Nihilego being chipped away by spikes. That's just annoying. Get stabbed Draco Meteor, and its options on the physical side are actually not really that bad. I mean, it gets Earthquake, it can get things like Steel Wing. So, but on the special side, this thing can get Energy Ball. Not a really great relier on hidden powers. I guess it can. You can use hidden power Fire. It has Ice Beam. As I said previously, Memento, it gets Magic Coat. It gets Outrage for the physical side. Stab Psychic is always nice. Reliable recovery of Roost and Recover. It can phase things out with Roar, which I didn't even know that I got. It gets Shadow Ball, Rest, Talk, Shadow Claw for the physical side. Surf, Tailwind for helping my Pokemon gain twice speed. It also gets Thunderbolt to hit things that with its stabs it can't really hurt. And then it also gets Trick, which is nice if I want to trick a Scarf onto something. And also it gets a few nice other physical attacks like Waterfall and Headbutt if I do want to head on the physical side. I do understand that Mega Latios is better if you want to have a potential Dragon Dancer. But Megas weren't allowed in this draft for some reason, so I had to pick up Latios. And I do not regret anything. So my round 3 pick was Florges, being able to get a Fairy type to help out my Dragon type, which would be very nice. This Pokemon, again, its special attack, this Pokemon's special attack is 155, Nihiligo's base is 131, and Latios' base 110. So no special attackers are getting through me, except physical attackers are going to destroy me, which is why I wanted Latias, but oh well. So, Florges, you guys don't know what Florges is capable of. That's very good at being a cleric. Its wishes aren't exactly the best. It has a base 70 at HP stat, which isn't that great. I mean, it's very good at wish passing, but not like top tier in my opinion. It's around middle tier, I'd say. But it's definitely useful with Heal Bell and can take an offensive role with things like Calm Mind, Stab, Moonblast, and Psychic to hit those poison types that may come in. Alola Muck is an issue for this Pokemon, but no one drafted it, fortunately. But basically, I just wanted a cleric. I wanted a Pokemon that was around the 70 speed as well, because that's pretty nice. Not many people really drafted around that area, so I feel like that was something I could pick up. And honestly, this Pokemon this Pokemon on tier 3 was quite a snag for me, quite a bargain if I'm being honest, because yet again, I've seen this Pokemon as a tier 2 in my eyes, and it going for tier 3, I had to pick it up for round 3. I know I could wait around, maybe round 4 because I was 6th, so that means that I only have 2 people to worry about sniping me, But this Pokemon, I really needed it for my team. It was a very good fairy. There weren't that many good fairies that I really liked that were left in Tier 3, so I just wanted to pick it up. And I think I was the first, or one of the first, no, I was one of the first, because Has picked up Jolteon in Tier 3 for round 3 to start it off on the wheel pick. But this Pokemon gets things like Magic Coat, Giga Drain, Psychic, Synthesis for reliable recovery, although you'll probably see Wish more often, as we're going to see that at the bottom there. It also gets Rest Talk and some other decent things. I guess I can use Petal Blizzard to make use of that base 65 attack stat. But yeah, Florges is probably going to be assuming the role of the Cleric in my team, which honestly I am fine with, because Florges is a pretty reliable Cleric in its own regard. It's been an RU, and I think it's definitely going to stay an RU, if not move up. So yeah, that's my opinion of Florges. So next up is my next Tier 3 Pokemon. A lot of people diving into Tier 3, and remember, this is only 4 picks after I picked. Like, most of the picks were in Tier 3, so I was getting kind of worried. I really did not want this Pokemon getting sniped for me. I decided to pick up Hippowdon. This is actually my round 5 pick, so I'll be going over my round 4 pick afterwards. But Hippowdon is a great Stealth Rock setter. Something that I sorely missed was a Stealth Rock setter. Heligo probably isn't that good of a Stealth Rock setter. I mean, it gets Stealth Rocks, but it's kind of one of those Pokemon like Golurk or Zidowoodo, if you're ever going to use it. It's like, it can't get Stealth Rocks, but when are you ever going to put Stealth Rocks onto it? This Pokemon's move pool is actually pretty good. I mean, it gets all the Fang moves, it gets Crunch, it gets Earthquake, it gets it gets other things, I think. It gets like Stone Edge, Rock Coverage, Edgequake's pretty good. And this Pokemon's attack stat really is not that bad, base 112, and I did get my physical pivot finally with my 118 defense. This thing is such a good abuser, probably one of the best abusers of Rocky Helmet in the format. Sandstream is also very nice if I want to chip away my opponent. I wish I did get some for the Sand. Spoilers, I didn't get anything from my Sandstream, unfortunately. I was thinking of drafting something like a Stoutland in Tier 5. I think it was actually maybe Tier 4 in this draft, but unfortunately I didn't get to pick up Stoutland. I had other ideas. So yep, that's Hippo, a very good Stealth Rock setter, very good phaser with Whirlwind and Roar. Pretty good with the Toxic setter, actually. Apart from Forges, I didn't really have anything that, you know, Toxic fitted on. So I like Hippo, and I can't wait to use it. So this is actually my round 4 pick. Sorry, I went in for Hippowdon, which is my round 5 pick first. But this is my round 4 pick. So up until this point, I had Nihilego in Tier 2. I had Latios in Tier 1, and I had Florges in Tier 3. So now I'm going to pick up another Tier 1 Pokemon, and basically what this does is goes into my free slot. So I have 400 points right now, and picking up Scizor allowed to take 180 away, so I have 220 points left for 3 of my free slots. Scizor is an absolute monster. It's one of the biggest wall breakers, if not the biggest setup sweeper or wall breaker in UU. I mean, it has 1 weakness and 8 resistances, which is absolutely insane. Some of the best priority in the game with Stab Technician Bullet Punch, which can also be Choice Banded or Life or boosted. And this thing also gives me finally a knockoff user, which is pretty nice because you're gonna see a lot of Pokemon abusing items, just leftovers. You might be going up against something that is a Guts Pokemon like a Conkeldurr, which my first round matchup Hughes Manon has actually picked up, which is Conkeldurr. Not also to mention Bug Bite is very nice, getting the Technician boost and also being able to steal people's berries. Aqua Berry Scizor is very hard from opponents to Oko, not also to mention the Assault Vest set, and Choice Banded U-Turn, which is Stab, is very nice. This Pokemon also gives me a U-Turn Pokemon, so now I get my U-Turn call with it and Latios, and also it has another thing which it and Latios both get, and that is Defog, so it gives me a secondary Defogger. And Scizor, honestly, although it can assume an offensive role, it can very easily assume a defensive role with like leftovers as well. It gets Roost. It's got very good defensive typing, pretty good offensive typing, and defog. So I can just run 2 attacks, Roost and defog Scizor with like a Lumberry or leftovers or something, and this thing could go to town. Unfortunately, Baton Pass is banned, so I can't get like a slow Baton Pass if I'm feeling certain Pokemon running Rocky Helmet from my Scizor. This thing's definitely going to be playing games with my opponent. I can actually make use of agility because this Pokemon's speed is like around 65, which is pretty good. It has a base 130 attack, boosted by Technician. This is one of the strongest hitting physical Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. Base 100 defense, which really is not that bad. It only has a base stat total of 500, which doesn't really make it that customizable, but it is going to be breaking walls, I can promise you that. It's probably going to have one of the most kills in the game, or in the league, sorry. But, I mean, this Pokemon, it just gets some really nice moves, like Knockoff, it gets Technician Pursuit, so even if my opponent is not going to be switching out, I can deal just about the same damage to my opponent. I also get Superpower for dealing with, opposing bulky steel types. I think that they can wall me, things like, what's a bulky steel type that's just a steel type? Things like Magneton or Magnezone that can come in. It's another Tailwind setup Pokemon, which is also very nice. So I've got two options for Tailwind if I want. And this also helps out my speed tiering quite a bit, dropping very nicely from base 75 from Forges down to 65 in Scizor, and gives me a nice physical attacker, so I can't wait to be using it. Okay, so the next Pokemon in round 6 that I decided to pick up was Alomomola. Why is this Pokemon tier 4? I do not understand. I would rank this Pokemon as a tier 2 Pokemon or a tier 3 Pokemon. This Pokemon's bulk is absolutely insane, having a base 165 HP stat. This is like one of the top 3, I'd like to say. I think it's the 3rd best Wishcaster in the game aside from Blissey and Chansey. Its defense is superb with that HP stat. Its special defense is nothing to laugh at, because although it is base 45, I can max that out, and I can max out its HP stat, and this thing can take so many hits. I mean, it is Florges can handle heal belling, whereas this Pokemon can just Wish, Scald, Toxic, and Protect. That is all it really needs. I was hoping to get Tangrowth as my tier 2, which is why I wanted Regenerator Core. Tangrowth was my round 3 pick, but I decided to pick up Forges because it was sniped by Sita, unfortunately, over the Warsaw Whoopers. This Pokemon, however, does get Healing Wish, which is something very nice, that base 165 HP stat going into another Wish to maybe give something a second life, like my Latios, my Nihilego, my Scizor. And also, it can be a pretty good knockoff user with that base. What is it? Base 75 attack stat, and also its speed is 65. So I am getting a bit of a speed type Scizor, which isn't really the best for my speed tiering. But I mean, that can easily be patched up. I get Magikarp if people want to Toxic me. I was going to say Pain Split is a good move, but realistically, this Pokemon's going to have so much HP that's actually going to be losing out in exchanges, because it's just got so much HP. Like most Pokemon, we have like 300, this Pokemon's got 600, so yeah, can't wait to be using Alomomola. Okay guys, so my round 7 pick was the Roark. This Pokemon was not my first option, this Pokemon was not my second option. In fact, it was a late 3rd round option just to fill in all the roles that I needed. So Roark, I do have some experience with using it. I wouldn't say that I'm the best as a Roark user. Like I'm alright at using it basically. This Pokemon is a king of RU, and for a reason. Its illusion is so nice, and especially in Draft League format. If you see your opponent has a Zoroark, you are instantly gonna be thinking, oh darn, is this Pokemon a Zoroark? Is this Pokemon a Zoroark? Like, I could be sending out my Scizor, and that could be playing so many mind games with people. It's like, crap, this Pokemon might just Pursuit Trap me and knock me out, or whatever. Or might launch off like a Sludge Bomb, Fire Blast, Stab, Dark Pulse. And also, it actually does not have that bad of an attack stat. Base 105 is really not that bad for Pursuit, Sucker Punch, or Knockoff. And that base 120 special attack is golden. Not to also mention base 105 speed is actually pretty nice. As I said before, Nihilego is pretty nice. Just because it gets out speed, all those base 100s, and also I can invest a little bit into HP if I do wish to, although Zoroark is pretty much a glass cannon. It does get very good setup with nasty plot, meaning that I can hit twice as hard with that 120 base special attack, and this Pokemon's coverage is absolutely insane. It's one of like top Pokemon for coverage. Now, I do want to mention before I go into the coverage, this Pokemon was not my first nor second, but it was my third pick. My first pick was going to be Sneasel because it does have only base 95 attack, but it has some really good stabs. I mean, its stabs make up for completely. It gets priority Ice Shard, it gets its Pursuit Trapping Stab, it gets Knockoff, which Zoroark does get to be fair, but Sneasel's typing is just insane. Not also to mention, I do get a base 115 Pokemon, which would have helped out in my speed tiering, but looking back on it, Zoroark actually was not that bad of a pickup. It actually it hits harder on the physical side than the Sneasel, which is what I needed for my team because my physical attackers weren't that great. I have Hippowdon with base 108 attack, or base 112 attack, sorry, and I do have Scizor with base 130. I just need to keep on getting like base 90s or whatever in my attack. Some Pokemon that have usable attack stats, let's just say. But my second pick was Spiritomb because it did allow me to have a Pursuit Trapper, a Pokemon that was very reliable with Will-O-Wisp. It gets Pain Split, so it's a nuisance to take down. Alumamola's Wishes into it was very nice indeed. It also gets Infiltrator to break through substitutes, and Shadow Sneak for priority. Like, Spiritomb is the king of priority. It gets Shadow Sneak, it gets Sucker Punch, and if your opponent's afraid of that priority, then you can Pursuit Trap them. So that's really nuts. And also Spiritomb doubles as a spin blocker and only has one weakness to Fairy, which gives my Scizor, which only has one weakness to Fire, a free switch in essentially against the Fairy type. And even if it is running Hidden Power Fire, if I'm running a half decent bulky Scizor on the especially defensive side, then I can take a Hidden Power Fire and immediately scare it out and roost in the space or set up Swords Dance. But this Pokemon has got some really good coverage. It gets Stab, Dark Pulse as I mentioned previously, it gets Flamethrower, it can hit on the physical side of things like Foul Play. It actually gets quite a lot of really nice Dark Stab, including Low Kick. It gets Knockoff, and the move that probably is going to come back to bite me in the butt if I ever use it is Memento. I guess Pursuit, and I also get some things like Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, and Taunt, Trick, and U-Turn. U-Turn is very nice, and my other Pokemon that can use U-Turn, like Latios, and what was the other Pokemon that I said could use U-Turn? I'm going through the Pokemon, the hell go. Scizor, yeah, okay, how could I forget? So that is Zoroark. I can't wait to be using that illusion ability. 120 special attack will throw my opponents off, but definitely not at base 105 because I can be picking up a few kills on the physical and definitely with this Pokemon's attack. Okay, so my next pick in round 8 is Executree. This Pokemon was not banned from UU for a reason. It is now borderline and is happily sitting there. This Pokemon has got the highest special attack in OU and below very easily. Base 173 special attack. I mean, this Pokemon doesn't even need boost to win, but it actually does. It gets the best, it gets the best setup move on the special side in the whole game. It gets Teal Glow, and if you guys are not aware of what Teal Glow does, it's a move that only 3 Pokemon get, Volbeat, Manaphy, and this Pokemon, and it raises your special attack by 3 stages. So this thing hits like a nuke. I can just, like, if I get a Teal Glow up, I can just start clicking buttons. It doesn't really matter if you resist it, you're just gonna die after, like, something like Stealth Rocks or something like that. Executree is my Z abuser, and I can abuse so many Z crystals. I mean, I can get the Z Rain Dance, I can get Z Hypnosis, which is the move that I'm looking most forward to because I get a +1 speed boost, 60% chance to Hypnosis, and if I do connect Hypnosis, then my opponent is asleep, and I get the setup Teal Glows in its face. I can also just make use of my pretty good coverage. Executree's coverage isn't the best, but it definitely is not the worst by any means. I can make use of things like Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, I can give it Verinium Z or Garcinium Z, I can even just give it Electronium Z Thunder just to destroy something. Like any switching that isn't a ground type will die. It also gets the Volt Switch, so finally I get a Volt Turn combo with some of my Pokemon, because I got like 3 U-turners, but up until this point I had no Pokemon that could use Volt Switch, but now I do. This Pokemon, it only really has 4 or 5 good specially attacking moves, but what moves it does get in the special side, alongside Nihilego, are extremely strong and people have to fear them. A speed stat also really helps out my team because base 83. It helps drop down from that nice base 83 stat down to Forges, which is base 75. So that's only like an 8 speed difference. That's pretty good speed tuning in my opinion. So yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that Executree is actually tier 2 in this format. So it, as my Z user, actually gave me 20 more points. So instead of having now only 220 points, I do have 240. And I'm going to be losing 60 points to this Talonflame. Also, Zoroark was a tier 4 Pokemon, so I lost 60 more points. So now I only have 160 points. No wait, I have only 120. Wait, okay, let me do the calculation. So 420 take away, that's 240. Okay, so I have 120 points left. Talonflame is probably one of the biggest bargains in this entire draft. I mean, the Gale Wings nerf hurt it, but it didn't hurt it that much. Now, I did mention previously that Scizor has one of the strongest priorities in this game. This Pokemon has the strongest priority move in the game. Gale Wings, Brave Bird. I mean, this Pokemon doesn't even really realistically need priority, because the speed stat is out of this world. I mean, I guess base 126 speed, which is insane. Its attack stat is not that good, but I mean, I can set up sword stats in this Pokemon. I can go for bulk up. There's so many options, surprisingly, with this Pokemon. I can run a specially defensive with Will-O-Wisp. I can run it as a bulk up set. I can run it with sword stance. I can run it as a sash, suicide variant, taunt, and U-turn and things like that. This thing also gets U-turn again. That's the story of my life with this team. Like, you can't be a member of my team if you don't have U-turn, except if you're Hippowdon, Gorgeous, or Nihilego, apparently. But this Pokemon, its stabs really are just what it boosts it to the next level. This Pokemon is in UU, technically. It is in Borderline too, but I mean, that still counts as UU. And as I said, this Pokemon is such a bargain pick. I mean, I do understand sort of why it was kicked down to tier 4. It does have a massive Stealth Rock weakness, but when you pair up a Talonflame with one of the best defoggers in the game, Latios, and by no means a bad defogger, Scizor, which is very capable of defogging in its own rights in UU, then, I mean, this Pokemon should be able to take Stealth Rocks perfectly fine. I also had a lot of people telling me that my Talonflame pick was such a good pick. It was probably one of the best picks in the draft. But round 10 comes along and I needed a strong fighting type Pokemon. You always really need a fighting type Pokemon in your draft, just so you can break through really defensive steel and rock types that might oppose you. Because a rock type in the format, as I am learning from the Nihilego, is not a bad Pokemon whatsoever. Rock types are probably one of the best Pokemon in the format. A really good, strong rock type with pretty nice attack. It can really help out your team a lot. Primeape is a Pokemon that I, apart from Talonflame and maybe a Alomomola, I would say is my favorite pick. Primeape is a really good Choice Scarf abuser, as if none of my team already abuses Choice Scarf, like Latios, Zoroark, Nihilego, like all those Pokemon abuse Choice Scarf. And now I've got another Pokemon, but this Pokemon, don't be fooled by its attack stat, because it might be only base 105, which actually is pretty darn good for a tier 5 Pokemon. Its speed stat is pretty good, especially for my speed tiering. It allows me to drop nicely down from my base 103 Nihilego down to my base 95 Primeape, down to my base 83 Executree, so I get a nice drop there, instead of 103 down to 803, which is 20, a base 20 decrease, which is pretty not wanted. But Primeape's coverage is actually pretty good, if I'm not gonna lie. It gets all the elemental punches, poison jab, U-turn again, and also just some really strong stab moves such as close combat and cross chop. It also gets Earthquake. Let's just go through the list. It also gets Acrobatics. It gets Final Gambit, which I actually didn't even know this Pokemon gets. But a Choice Scarf Final Gambit coming off this Pokemon would not be appreciated by anything. It does get Gunk Shot if you do want to risk the mess. It gets Night Slash, Outrage, the Elemental Punches as I stated prior, Power Up Punch for setup. It actually gets Pursuit, which I did not realize, which is pretty cool. So if I ever want to run Pursuit on Sizzle or Zoroark, which I probably will be, I guess I can run this as like a last ditch thing. It gets Rock Slide for flying type Pokemon, Seed Bomb for like defensive, like ground types that might want to try take a hit. And it also gets Taunt, which is really nice. I can't wait to use Primeape, and it also I've been seeing that a lot of teams solely have Defog. So I can bring like Toxic Spikes and Heligo and like rocks in my Hippowdon, and I can say, hey, if you want to remove these hazards, you fear my Choice Scarf Primeape getting a +2 attack boost. So that means that essentially I've got a base stat total or base attack of 210. I know that's not really the way you're supposed to look at it because that's not how it works, but you know, that's what I like to think. It's like, hey, do you want to give me base 220 attack if I switch in and get the correct play? And you're going to remove the hazards that you worked so hard to set up, because like people like MX only have defoggers like Tier 1 Tapu Fini and Tier 4 Flygon, which is another one of the best bargain picks. But I can't wait for Primeape. As I said, Fighting Stab is so good in this format, especially with Poison Jab, so it can counter Fairy type Pokemon. Definitely be expecting me to use this like 2 or 3 weeks, because although this Pokemon is in Tier 5, it is not weak by any means. It's kind of bulky. It can take a hit or 2, I guess, as long as it's not stab or super effective. So my final pickup was the Tier 2 monster, the Pokemon that for some reason in every single generation always stays in UU. It is Celebi, the Grass Psychic type Pokemon. Now this Pokemon actually looks pretty good on paper, but I'm not sure how it's going to fare in draft format, because quite a few people actually have quite good bug types, like Sita, of the Warsaw Whoopers. He has got Buzzwole, Hughesmanin, which I do play week number 1. Has got Scolipede, so that's going to be really exciting to play against, because Scolipede kind of wrecks my team apart from like a few Pokemon. That battle has already been recorded, guys, so you know, there's no point to like spoil it or anything about me saying this. But Celebi gives me another great Stealth Rock user apart from Hippowdon and Heligo, I guess. It also gives me another U-turner and another setup sweeper on the physical and special side through Calm Mind, Swords Dance, and Nasty Plot. This thing's Natural Cure is actually very useful because it can come in, take Toxics, and go immediately out. It can also take things like Burns, Thunder Waves if I'm unsure if people are actually going to burn my Scizor. I can just go into Celebi, take the burn, and just immediately U-turn out. As I said, this Pokemon's defensive typing is kind of trash, being weak to Dark, Ghost, Flying, Ice, what else? Fire, as I mentioned previously, 4 times weak to Bug, but it does give me a Ground Resist, which can come in, and its a synergy with the Heligo is actually pretty darn good. It does get things like Ancient Power, which I can get a bit cheeky with, and Seeds as well. But one thing that actually drew me quite a lot to this Pokemon, by the way, was one of my main plans. I was planning to hopefully drawing everyone out of their points and then pick up a really really good Tier 2 Pokemon that no one can afford. This Pokemon was supposed to be Tangrowth in round 3, but instead it is a Celebi in round 11. It was the best option I had, and honestly it does help out my speed tiering a whole bunch, being able to give me a base 100 so that Nihilego and Primeape don't have that much of a split now. And also it just gives me a Heal Bell user, so I don't really have to rely that much on Florges. I do get Heal Bell, so if I want to, I can bring defensive Florges and be like, hey, you know what, Celebi, you bring Heal Bell for this turn, okay? I mean, you've already got Natural Cure, so I can send you in on anything that is status related. But still, if I, you know, feel like misplaying, then I can always come in with you with your base 100 speed, get off a Heal Bell pretty successfully, and yeah. This Pokemon does get quite a few options though, as I did mention. I can hit on the physical and special side. It does get things like Healing Wish, which is actually pretty nice. So I got 3 Pokemon with Healing Wish, which is Alamomola, What else gets Healing Wish? Florges is that the Pokemon that gets Healing Wish I'm thinking of, and also Celebi now. And this Pokemon with base 100 HP is really not going to be that bad, but I can hit on the special side of things like Leaf Storm and set up with Nasty Plot. I also get Stab Psychic, Signal Beam, Shadow Ball, and can hit on the physical side. Seed Bomb. What was that move up there that I was gonna look at? Seed Bomb, okay, Return doesn't really matter because most Pokemon get that. But I do get Priority and Sucker Punch, so that's pretty good as well. I also do get Trick, U-Turn, Stab, Zen Headbutt on the physical side, and Synthesis for reliable recovery, which quite a lot of my team does have reliable recovery. So I am playing semi-stall. Well, not semi-stall, I'd say more of bulky offense. There we go. I'm playing bulky offense, because teams like Suta, and Cheesemanin, they're like hyper offense teams with like 1 or 2 really bulky Pokemon, whereas my team, like most of my team, is bulky, and then you have things like Talonflame, Zoroark, Primeape, Latios in some cases, although it does get reliable recovery. You know, those are my frail wall breakers, if you may. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The video will be going up tomorrow about me versus Cheeseman in our battle. I'll quickly go bring you to our team format. Our teams actually were rated. Sorry if you can see some stuff up there. I'll try to hide that. There we go. Right, okay, so this is my team if you guys did not check. So we've got Latios in Tier 1, Nihilego in Tier 2, Forges in Tier 3, Hippowdon in Tier 3, Alomomola in Tier 4, Primeape in Tier 5, Exarchitry as my Z abuser, and you've got Tier 1 Scizor as my free pick, which cost me 80 points. You've got Zoroark, which was my Tier 4 pick, which cost me 60 points, as well as Talonflame, and then Celebi, which was my Tier 2 pick, which cost me 120 points. My team is ranked A, and it's the highest ranked team in the draft, although, you know, that only puts more pressure on me to do well, to show that my team's good, and that the trainer behind the team's good, because there's no point having a good team if you're not a good trainer, and there's no point being a good trainer if you've got a pretty bad team. I also did use one trade, by the way. That was me swapping Nihilego as my original Z user to Exarchitry, just because, you know, I could swap them up. Exarchitry's far better with its coverage and Z options to boost the speed. Thanks guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.